we go.
I'm just saying.
Trust me, I would take the offer immediately if I could.
It's just hard, man. It's
Save
hard.
up.
It's hard to move out.
Save up.
Alerts, followers. Yep.
Get a couple grand in the bank, and then find an apartment in Vegas. There you go.
These are hilarious.
Side talking, bro. Revolutionary.
All right, here we go. Where are we? 11:57. I'm gonna get it out there.
For some reason, the Eurogamer link, it just not work. It was taking forever to load.
European websites, right?
Don't let us follow you.
The internet had to cross the ocean, and then come back.
What are you saying?
There's a link in there from Eurogamer, and it was loading slow from hell. So I was like, because it has to cross the ocean. It's
CDNs don't exist.
I mean, come on.
It's all fake.
It's Eurogamer's headquarters is in Europe. There's a computer that's turned on, and so it had to cross over and talk to the modem on that computer, and then come back.
Right.
And I think your internet is basically trying to shut you up.
Yeah?
I don't know, you were turning into a robot there for a second.
That's actually you, Mel. It sounded fine for me.
Meet more Zeep.
Shut up, Dark.
Oh shit, I don't even have the chat up. Fuck. Hold on.
Fair.
Look. Let me guess. Zero said something and sound doesn't work or blah 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 blah. Okay.
You're missing an entire conversation.
If only there was music. Well, that would be nice.
False.
The data was coming over the pizza. That ship doesn't exist anymore. I don't know. Maybe somebody saved it. I have no idea. Nah, they probably burned it down like forever ago. Hundreds of years ago.
What?
The Pinta.
The Santa Maria?
The Nina.
The bit of information that saved our lives that one time for just knowing it, remember? No, it never.
What?
That piece of information never saved our lives.
Oh, yeah, like, nope.
Nope,
No.
we never used it. Hey, trigonometry? No, we never used that.
Trigonometry? Go F yourself.
Yeah. Thanks for nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, BK. Like, I don't use
any of that more advanced
angles and depth and, calculations like that ever. In
Every single time I call up UPS, I'm asking them, what is girth?
Oh my god. I've seen that stand-up. That's Brian Regan.
Yeah.
I think he's hilarious, man. I'm a big fan of that dude.
Yeah.
I think his stand-up is fantastic. What is girth?
The length is 15.
Everything is 3.
Oh my god.
BK, this was actually a really weird week for game news. It's
super
like
weird.
We had nothing until like Wednesday. Like after after last week when we were just gaming, it was like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, there was nothing.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, finally, some crap started happening. And I was like, because up until Wednesday, I was like, I guess we're just going to play more Back for Blood or something, because there was nothing going on this week.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna make a whole episode around, hey, Halo comes out next week.
Woot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean it's not out yet? What have I been playing for about a week?
Yeah.
Oh, the multiplayer. I heard the single player is going to be amazing. So, from
Okay.
insiders.
Let me guess.
Clay's opinion doesn't matter in this.
You're gonna have some bad guys who turn out to not be bad guys. Hold on. And then there's gonna be this big battle at the end.
Spoiler alert.
And then it's gonna cliffhang, and then you have to finish the fight once again. Just predicting what's gonna happen. All right.
I don't think so, Clay. I think you're absolutely wrong.
That's not what's going to happen at all.
At all.
Like every other useless Halo game.
Halo
Got it.
game.
Okay.
Hey, don't hate. All right.
You know who you're talking to?
I'd like to see the original premise of all the GTAs. Okay. So original.
Hey,
Here's the concept.
I will
One
still
guy
say
steals a
this.
car and shoots people.
I will say
So-
this. To this day, Grand Theft Auto 3's ending is one of the best video game endings of all time.
Hmm.
To this day, 20 years ago.
You finally 100% that thing, huh?
3 and Vice City. I'm working on San Andreas now.
That's
Again.
all he ever plays.
I think
What's
it's
that?
You
time to
heard
stop
me.
this ASMR.
I didn't actually. Joel was talking. I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Did I say something?
Did we just
not say
restart the
something.
timer again?
No. Oh, probably because I
Yes.
changed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pitiful.
So you know what? Let's do
Because
this then.
4 minutes late.
Yeah.
It's that time for the most interactive podcast on Twitch with your host, Clay Donnie, our OG mod, Mel, and yours truly on the switchboard, Joel, coming to you from our live studio in Las
Going
Vegas,
on BK's
Nevada.
point, we didn't have any news for
It's
this.
game
It's not like a
news
seminar.
live.
It's just there is some.
Yes.
So it's not like this is the week to watch. It's every week. But it's not like this is
Except
an
the
easy
weeks.
territory.
Except the weeks that I'm in California. Then it's not the week to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. Or-
Welcome
or
everyone. Welcome everyone to Game News Live.
Hello.
Your host, hostesses,
the most.
hostesses,
Clay. Hostesses.
hostesses. Clay Doggy here. Always giving us his opinion, which yours are wrong, and you should always be used to that. And we also have Mel with her booby physics. We had to censor out what, yeah. Anyways, and it's me on the switchboard, as you can see. Let's
Beep beep.
we're ready to give you the game news for this week because you care about our opinion clearly, or else you wouldn't be here, or you're just related to us and being nice about it.
Or every now and then there's some news about a soccer game, and then some of you come
And
for that.
BK's like, soccer? No?
Whoa.
Okay, we'll see you later.
All right, see you nerds next week. Bye.
BK, we
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah, BK, we love you. All right, so let's get the game releases out of the way because it's going to be a quick game release section and we need to get past it because I'm pretty sure everybody knows this. So, game releases. Final
God's
Fantasy.
like,
All right,
Wow, we are still okay.
Final Fantasy expansion? What would you call this, Mel?
Yes.
this is an expansion.
Awesome. So I know, Mel, since you've gotten a new RL job, you haven't had a chance to play this, but are you excited about it?
I
It's
am
not even out
excited.
yet.
Yeah, right.
She hasn't played it because it comes out next week.
I get that.
Sir, the pre-release is actually out, so
Yeah.
a lot of people are actually
Oh, is
playing
it?
the new pre-order.
No, I have no
yet.
idea.
Is that
I have played Final Fantasy 14 once ever, and it was the first release of it, not even like Realm Reborn. So
is this like PTR?
that's how long ago.
Is it like released on like your public test server or anything? Do you even have a
No.
public? No?
No,
if you
it's
pre-order, you can actually play
yeah.
the full game.
Oh.
It's a pre-order early release kind of thing.
Mhm.
So it's like, this is where, if I'm going to translate this into WoW terms, this is where everybody is racing to get to the end of it first so they can say we got it first.
Oh, everybody's trying to level.
They do have achievements for that, I believe.
Yeah.
That's great.
Like,
oh, they have a
first guild, max level, in game, all that.
first guild to, I don't know if there's dungeons, but there's always been that. Like,
There's.
like first guild to complete a dungeon on a server or something like that. Those are cool. All right, but
Yeah, I mean, these games, Final Fantasy 14 is still a machine, man. This thing has
popular.
so many players right now. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Mhm.
It's like
the queue,
everybody.
like
It's like,
over 2,000.
yeah, WoW is dying a slow death right now, and their numbers just keep going up. So
Yeah.
good
Well,
on
the
them.
The one thing that I keep hearing is that because I play New World and it's like the newest MMO on the list, I thought it would be a direct. Every single time I talk to people, I thought it would be a direct comparison to WoW, but people are actually starting to talk about Final Fantasy being also a comparison for them, which I was completely taken aback. Like I didn't know that it had still such a huge following, but apparently it's an MMO to get into. Now, some people have said it's a little grindy, but that's to be expected. So, whatever. It's an MMO.
Depending.
And then you get an expansion. So, congratulations to all those who play Final Fantasy. I might join up one day just to see what's up. What's up?
Do they do like Mel? Does Final Fantasy do like a free trial or anything like that?
They do up to level 60. The
Ooh.
first expansion for Heavensward.
Wait a second.
How many levels are there?
90.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So, but you can play. Is it timed? Like, can you play a month up to 60, or is it just free?
No, we still have. There's a few players that actually will play the free trial constantly, and just stay up to level 60 and do whatever.
Huh.
Oh.
That sounds like it's free to play up to 60, right?
So
a lot bigger than WoW.
So
you can do the entire.
I played
story
WoW.
of
I played
Heavensward.
Old Republic. I played very few other MMOs, but it was like 1 to 60. Like I start. Joel and I are playing free play, right? Like game trial 1 to 60. Let's say 3 hours a night. How long does that take?
You can probably finish the story if you actually pay attention. It could be taking you a couple days, at least a week.
Oh, so you level pretty
But-
fast.
Yes.
Okay. Does it not level scale? Like the higher you are, the longer it takes to get to the next level, or?
Depending
Okay.
on the story.
I like all these vague answers.
Yeah,
It's like, so what's the best class? And Mel's like, maybe.
Well, what's your play style? Whatever you enjoy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you can play multiple
Sandwiches.
different classes with one character, not one tune. You don't have to have multiple tunes just to do a game.
Just to spec out to a certain class, right?
Mm.
Yeah, that's how New World is handling it too. Like any tune that you have anywhere can just respec to whatever you want, and then just load up a gear set, and you're all set. You are now a tank because the team needed a tank, and you're good. So I like those kind of games where it's flexible and they don't try to marry you to a certain type, because then you're just like, man, I have to go through the entire game just to do another like viable class where they need it. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't like doing that.
I'm the opposite.
Really?
I like having a class and a role.
Why do you like pain? Torture.
I mean,
it's hard.
It's not like we're playing Dark Souls or something like that.
I mean, yes, yeah, but it's just so grindy to get up there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many boars I can kill in one day.
There's a lot.
Terrible. But yeah, for game releases, Endwalker is out December 7th, as you can see. This will require like the full version, I assume. So,
Yes.
Oh, Mel, along with so Endwalker. Okay, so Final Fantasy 14 it's a subscription, so like monthly payments. So is this kind of like the old WoW model where you pay monthly, but still for Endwalker you have to pay like $30 up front or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
But they try to at least give you 30 days, I believe, for each expansion.
Nice.
Okay. So
beans.
you pay for the initial game plus each expansion. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Cool. All right. And let's get on to the next one, which is a little bit more obvious. Halo Infinite is out on, I believe, the 8th. It's not out yet, but the multiplayer beta, which, to be honest with anyone, it's literally final. The only thing that needs tweaking, in my opinion, is just the season and grinding. Yeah. 100 XP for every single level is just a little bit low and grindy. But other than that, everyone says that the gameplay for multiplayer is as expected, if not better. You still have the sprint that is kind of controversial amongst the Halo fan base, but still, it just plays smooth, and you can adopt it with almost any tier PC. It just feels right, and it feels smooth, and I recommend it for anyone who enjoys first-person shooters or just Halo in general. Play.
Yes.
Shut up. And Mel, what's your opinion?
I can't play.
Also, it's available on Battle Pass on
Game
day
Pass.
1. That's right. So Battle Pass is...
Joel.
Yeah, go ahead.
Game Pass.
Oh.
Battle Pass.
Oh, yeah. Game Pass. Yeah. Whatever. Battle Pass, Game Pass. Battle Pass is Blizz or Battle.net, right?
Battle Pass is basically
just some random thing.
The season.
Either way.
Not saying anything about Halo. Battle Pass is the multiplayer
Season stuff.
Progression system.
Game
like
Pass. Has
okay, back
it
to
on
silence.
There. Yeah, Game Pass has it on there, which is kind of crazy though. Like, this is a huge seller for Game Pass. You can play Halo single story and multiplayer, which is already free to play. But the single story, if you have Game Pass, you can play it for free on day 1. And I'm just like, how are they gaining back a lot of that money if it's a percentage of what they got for a subscription? You know what I mean? It's crazy because that's a full-fledged single-player game.
Phil Spencer a few weeks ago, actually, he did this interview, and he said one of the questions that he gets a lot is, how sustainable is Xbox Game Pass? Because they seem to be giving away a lot for a $5, $10, or $15 a month subscription fee, depending on which plan you have.
Right.
And he basically said, we have like 15 million people paying a month. It's beyond sustainable. So we're good.
Yeah. I mean, when you put it into that perspective, it's it's quite a bit of money, and I think the studios are just fine. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see.
They have said that, I mean, granted, Halo's Microsoft, right? Like 343 Studios is owned by them. It's their IP. They're only going to make money off this.
Right.
But for all you, the third-party people out there, even like EA and stuff like that, they get a nice chunk of change by having games on Game Pass.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that's I think single player is available right now. You can preload the single player off Xbox app, and on the 8th you'll be able to play the single player.
I'm gonna just throw a little extra here. I'm not saying anything about Halo, about Halo's campaign. Don't worry, you all know how I feel. I saw something interesting the other day, actually, and that was so there's currently for you two who play the multiplayer technical preview or whatever it's called. I hear that cheating has reared its head.
Yep.
Sadly.
And us and my people are reaching out to Microsoft saying, I want an option to disable crossplay because we don't want to play with them.
Yeah. Which I would have thought would have been the initial thing to do anyway, because most crossplay games started off with those options instead of not. But I can see where Halo is trying to, or 343 Studios is trying to saturate their multiplayer servers to draw more people in, because there's just so many game types that you can go through, and a couple of like experimental ones that they're trying out, that it might not be something that is more like hey, we didn't think about that. It's just that for right now, we just want to see what happens with crossplay, right?
So I think just having it on, crossplay on by default, is the bad move here. And it's not just strictly because of cheaters or anything like that. Like, crossplay is a really good idea. So an example here. I think later this month, Aliens Fireteam Elite is coming to Game Pass.
Right.
And I already have the game. I actually got a free copy of it. So I've already played it, and I will say that game desperately needs crossplay, because there are not enough people playing that game. And so if you open it up for Xbox and PlayStation and PC people to all be able to play together, it's basically a Left 4 Dead game. Like, that's all it is, but with barely anybody playing it. So it's like that game needs crossplay to increase its player base.
Yeah.
But if you look at, say, the way Overwatch does crossplay, you can have it off completely. So like when I'm playing on my PlayStation, it's just PlayStation people. Or I can turn it on, and by default, it only syncs up to other consoles.
Right.
Xbox, PlayStation, Switch.
Yeah.
Or, as we've done in the past, if you and I partner together, that now puts me into the PC pool as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's full crossplay across all platforms.
Right.
I think the way they do it is a little friendlier to it's on. Microsoft should not have done that, if you ask me. It should at least have an option for console or full crossplay. And at the same time, it's not like Halo needs the player base. Halo is that popular that they're going to have more than enough players. They don't need the forced on crossplay.
I think what they want to avoid is having that negative stigma that Battlefield 2042 is having right now.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like granted, there's several bugs and several issues with it.
Several.
and it's kind of lackluster for a couple of people, but I think they're trying to shy away from anything close to that to possibly put a nail on a coffin on something that they just tried, right? Because it's not necessarily a brand new concept, but it's a brand new concept for Halo itself.
Yeah.
So I would think that they'd want to avoid that. Now, I don't know what's being said in the meeting rooms or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure they're banking on this to be more of a progressional thing, kind of like Warzone, where they have different Halo single player games, but your multiplayer is always going to be the same, just with added packs from those single player games.
The fact that the multiplayer in Halo is free is that basically, like, when they announced that in the first place, that's instant lit. Like, that's full on what I thought. I was like, okay, Halo Online is free. The campaign is what you're paying the $60 for.
Right.
But you don't even have to play the campaign. You can just focus on the free online multiplayer game. And I think they're just going to keep evolving that over time. Like, it'll be Halo multiplayer, and then here in 5 years, you're going to see Halo Infinite 2 or something like that, which is just the campaign.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so aside from that, I mean, if you're excited about Halo coming out on December 8th, make sure you preload, because I'm pretty sure those servers are going to get hit, even though it's Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful with that. I've already preloaded. I'm ready to rock. But aside from that, it's time to go to rumor control, because this next one's a real doozy. I was starting to read over it, and I was like, ooh. Anyways, rumor control. Let's do this.
Do that again. Your echo was off on that.
Rumor control.
There we go.
All right. So here's a lesson.
We need like a cutout or like just like a GIF or something of some epic looking somebody shouting into a bullhorn or a microphone or something, you know. So like you just paste that on the screen and then rumor control, you know. It's like that.
All right. So this one's a weird one, but it kind of feels more like a shot at the person who was related to this person, because boy, oh boy, did I ever see a scenario where, if this is true, I mean, even your girlfriends or spouses or anyone, it might have to sign an NDA after this if this is true. So apparently, somebody who works at NetherRealm Studios had cheated on their girlfriend. I believe it's their girlfriend or their spouse or whatever, and they found out about it. Well, you know, when you talk to your spouse and your girlfriend about games that are unreleased that you're working on, it's probably best not to give all the details away that they can later on confirm or have to roll back or whatever. But there's an entire almost Ask Me Anything situation on Reddit under the Mortal Kombat Leaks Reddit forum, where an ex-girlfriend of somebody spilled the beans on Mortal Kombat 12 and any upcoming DLC specifics, what you're going to be expecting. And there are quite a there's a doozy in here that I was just like, wait a second, I follow Keanu Reeves, and they asked him this question. They said, what if your character either Neo
and
John Wick were in Mortal Kombat? He's all like, they're just so big, you know how he is, modest as hell. They're just so
he
different.
They're doing their own thing.
They're doing their own.
Yeah,
right. But then if you look at this, the DLC literally states you would have Raiko, Lee May, John Wick, and Doomslayer as playable characters. And I'm just like, wait a second. I know that most of these like guest spot characters take quite a bit of negotiation to get them on Mortal Kombat. So I don't know if this is solidified or if they're still in the works for talks for this kind of stuff. But that would be pretty crazy to start seeing John Wick on any of these games.
John Wick, I mean, that would be cool. Like, those are great movies. Like, that would be awesome. Neo, I would say, would actually happen. And of course, he would have to be balanced, you know, and everything like that. But it's like, Warner Brothers owns the rights to The Matrix.
Yes.
Warner Brothers owns NetherRealm Studios.
Right.
Chocolate and peanut butter, right there. You know, it's like, like,
and
so
again,
that could actually happen.
It's coming out pretty soon, so.
And we have another Matrix rumor coming up after this too. But it's like, it's the link is in the chat. If you read some of the stuff on here, it's like, this could happen. Like, this sounds like something that would actually happen. Like a giant roster of like 50 people encompassing every MK there is.
Right.
Like a bajillion little levels you can fight on. This is DLC packs. It's like, this is normal.
Yeah, this is this generation's trilogy. The
trilogy,
Mortal Kombat trilogy. Yeah. So this is crazy, because if this is the case and we're talking about brand new gen consoles that could handle that kind of stuff, I mean, I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat isn't like pushing the envelope here in any of their games for the current hardware, right? But still, like, that's quite a bit of gigabytes with each stage, each character, and all that stuff that they would have to work out almost like a Mugen-like fighter base.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
What's crazy about this is Mortal Kombat is actually pretty popular in esports. And so, like, if they were to do this with like 50 plus characters, like, I'm sure, you know, Capcom already deals with this, and, you know, like King of Fighters and all that stuff, but it's like, that's a lot of balancing.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have somebody figure out that MK3 Ultimate Reign is like the OP character in the game, and now they have to balance him against 49 plus other people.
But then again, like, then again, you have several different games that have been that are separate, 3D Mortal Kombat that are separate, that have been balanced on their own, and so literally you just have to merge them all together, and maybe there'll be like 5 or 6 that need to be reworked.
I just think that's going to be a hassle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but again,
are you excited though? I mean, I'm excited.
I was just gonna say, I'm a fan of the MK series. I will say X and 11 were good, but I thought 9 was where it really shined. Like, back when 9 came out in 2013, like, love that game. I still haven't played the last like expansion for 11 when they kind of like added more campaign into it.
Right.
MK11 Ultimate or whatever it's called. I still haven't played that, but
Yeah.
I would play more Mortal Kombat. I love those games, and they always have really fun campaigns.
Yeah. Mel, have you played Mortal Kombat or any of its iterations?
I have played 3, obviously, and I have played the campaign for Mortal Kombat 10. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played too much of it afterwards.
This article, for what it's telling us, seems very plausible right after the events of the last
11.
Mortal Kombat, which has to do with Liu Kang kind of resetting the timelines. And then the thing that's interesting here, and you can read it for yourself, the thing that's interesting here is that you have key players that kind of switch sides due to which is super popular right now. How convenient. Their multiverse switch up. You know what I mean? Oh man, this is brand new. I mean, it just adds more to the reset of things so that way they can keep working on different storylines. But it makes sense. Like, you got Frost switching over, you got a couple of different other characters that have been
Like
built on
Reptile's a good guy now.
Yeah, and I'm just like what?
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, does the game have Johnny Cage?
Yes.
If the answer is yes, I'm going to play the game.
That's according to this, Johnny Cage is in there.
The best Mortal Kombat fighter of all time.
But
Johnny
I would
Cage
assume
as
that
long as Johnny Cage is in it, we're happy.
I would assume that if Johnny Cage is in it and he's one of those characters, that he would turn into more of a douchebag for the negative side at this point.
Wouldn't that be awesome, though?
I mean,
wouldn't that be great if like villain Johnny Cage, like all of his stupid little one-liners and his attitude, as a villain, that would be fantastic. I would love that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know how excited the current Mortal Kombat community is about if they've read this or whatnot, but I am stoked just knowing most of the things that I know about Mortal Kombat.
Well, so we did a rumor control a few months ago where talking about how NetherRealm basically was bypassing Injustice 3 to work on another MK. So this isn't the first we've heard of this happening. Like, there have been leaks and rumors galore for the past year that, like, ever since MK11 was basically nail in the coffin, like when they said, we are done with MK11, everybody's talking about 12, just in these little rumor circles and leaks and everything like that. This is the only time we've actually had actual info, not just it's being made.
Right.
So, like, this isn't the first we've heard of this. So this is actually a little more believable now, seeing as this kind of snowball keeps growing.
Right.
I mean, and we're going to talk about it, later in the show, but the Game Awards are next week. It is trailer time.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we're going to get a tease or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. But the other one that I'm excited about, which is also still rumor control, take it with a grain of salt, but it does seem like it's about time. BioShock 4 supposedly now has a time frame, which is somewhere around the 1960s here.
Yes.
What it has to do with wherever they are, it has to do with them being in Antarctica, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
And then that the place that they're looking at is very similar to Half-Life 2's ship.
I'm going to have to time this out
Borealis.
for a second.
Yes.
I'm going to have to time this out for a second. Joel, I think your camera froze.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was just me, because I don't know if you saw, like a minute ago, I was doing this to see if I can still track myself in the other shot, and I was like, yeah, it's not me. Yeah.
Yeah. Still frozen.
That's weird.
Because, like, Mel's moving. I can see her.
That's weird.
Wow. PC Master Race. Look at this guy over here.
Shut the hell up.
How's that 3090 treating you, Joe?
I'm actually live right now, and I'm judging you. I'm working on my I'm working on my puppet lips.
Yeah.
Not really.
Not
really.
I'm not helping you, Joel.
You know what?
I'll just
get off me.
The face.
Zero. This is the perfect opportunity for you to just jump in there, man. Come on, like
he's like I see.
He's like,
I see nothing wrong.
He's like, this is the clearest I've ever seen Nerdjunk.com. This is like, like I think they're actually in 8K now. This is like, this is perfect.
Thanks. He's saying he needs a 4090 to support the stream.
Exactly.
That's weird. I don't know what's going on here.
I think your cam's done, dude.
Yeah, I think it's frozen indefinitely. Either way, we can go on. Not that big of a deal.
Unplugged.
I feel like I'm in VR now.
It's like you're in person. It's that good right now.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on. Well, do we want to talk about more about BioShock right now?
Well,
it's just a little bit of news.
BioShock, yeah, like Video Games Chronicle, they have this. This is rumor. We don't know yet because obviously there's been no official announcement. We know that there is another BioShock being made. This was actually announced like a year and a half ago. That basically like 2K Games, they said like, yeah, we are making another one. Just chill. Oh, that's fine. If this is true, 1960s. The area you're in is called Borealis, and apparently the narrative does tie into BioShock.
Okay.
Which I'm on board. If it's in the 60s, that's kind of weird because if you remember, Rapture was like 1959, 1960, something like that, and it was in the ocean near Antarctica. So like this could be directly tied into BioShock 1. Like we don't know. If so, I'm on board. I love the BioShock franchise, even 2. I'm ready for more.
Someone possibly related to Andrew Ryan, who built another Metropolis.
Well, Andrew Ryan said he literally he could only build Rapture underwater. Like he wanted everybody, he said that was the only option. So it might not be Andrew Ryan, but maybe it's something that ties into it somehow. Like maybe, I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything on BioShock 1, so it's like, but I don't know. I don't know, but I'm on board. BioShock is awesome, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
Hey, you're alive again.
All right. I refreshed OBS Ninja. I don't know what the issue is, but whatever. All right, so BioShock 4, we don't have anything else as far as like release dates or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure it might be more possible that it's going to be in 2022.
Joe Dubs, BioShock 4 Stepbrother Edition.
Stepbrother. All right, let's go on to the next one. Well, this is also rumor control, but it would be the perfect thing to do. Is it rumor control?
Actually, why did I put that in?
I don't know.
This isn't in rumor control. This isn't the next article.
Sony's. It is on my watch. BioShock 4 and Sony's Game Pass coming in spring. Well,
that's not the link Like Mel just put a link for something way further down the list.
Okay, anyways.
Way to go, Mel. Okay.
You mean on the chats?
Yeah, on the chats. God. Mel, will you focus? Okay. Right. Okay.
Samuel L. Jackson on the screen is judging you.
Exactly.
He's right there.
He's like, what's in your wallet? So this story was actually broken by Bloomberg, and as usual, they have a giant paywall. So Polygon has the article also, and we have what's in your Google Doc exactly.
Not order.
This is yet another rumor. It's just now we have a little more data. We've heard about this for a long time. Basically, Sony does not have a lot going on for itself when it comes to a Game Pass competitor. They have PlayStation Now, which has like 1 to 2 million subscribers. Good for them. I've used PlayStation Now in the past. It's a fine service. It just pales in comparison to what you can get from Game Pass.
So fine.
Yeah. So it is fine. It works. If you can get a deal on it, sometimes there's like a year subscription for like $40. Go for it. There are games to play. It's just Game Pass buries this thing with how much it is.
Gotcha.
Bless you.
Bless you.
And,
Yeah.
But yeah, supposedly, and we've heard that Sony is working on it. Like, hey, we know Game Pass makes a lot more than we do. We're working on it. David Jaffe, the game designer, God of War, Twisted Metal, all that stuff. He even said that he got a hint of what it was a few months ago, and that it's awesome. If this article from Bloomberg is true, then David Jaffe's out of his mind, because this is what we kind of expected to happen, and that is they're going to merge PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now together and just give you that, which is like that should have happened years ago. Like PlayStation Plus is like $60 a year. PlayStation Now is usually 50. Just sell them both together for $100 a year. And it's like that's the easy answer. I'm hoping that they do something, because you're getting both services, like PS Plus and PlayStation Now. Mix them together, $100 a year, whatever. Game Pass Ultimate is $150 a year. Okay, so it's still cheaper than that. But it's like, if that's all they're doing, that's very lackluster. The thing with Game Pass, why it's so popular, is you get new games.
Right.
PlayStation Now, it's very rarely do you get a new game. Very rarely. Like it's a very special occasion when a new
maybe
game
like
comes.
once out of every 6 months.
Yeah. Dark Zero, what's the difference between Now and Plus? Plus is essentially Xbox Live Gold, if you remember that, where it just enables you multiplayer gaming, and you get like 2 to 3 free games a month. And that's it. That's all PlayStation Plus does. PlayStation Now is their version of Game Pass. It is like it's a Netflix, catalog of games. And that's the only way you can currently get backwards compatible games beyond the PS4. So PlayStation Now is where you get PS1, 2, and 3 games, but technically they're all cloud streamed. Like they're not able to download to your console,
Right?
because the PS5 just can't play them. Like they never looked into backwards compatibility like the Xbox can. But that's the basic difference between Now and Plus. They should have merged these together a long time ago.
Yeah.
Fall Guys and Destruction All-Stars were examples of this. Those were actually freebies on PS Plus. It wouldn't surprise me if they were both in PlayStation Now anyway. I know Fall Guys was really popular when it first came out. It's kind of been dying down over the past year.
Yeah, it's still
Destruction
fun.
All-Stars is it's like a Demolition Derby type game on the PlayStation. It was a freebie. I played like 20 minutes of it, and I was like, this is stupid. I don't know anybody who plays it. It's pretty boring. They were examples of new games. So if they're on PS Now, that does make sense. I know that they were both freebie giveaways on PS Plus as well. But yeah, it's PlayStation Now. It's fine. It works. It does. Mel, if you still have your PS4, you can subscribe and you can play Brink on the PS4 via PlayStation
I'm going
Now.
to
Oh
smack
my god!
the crap out of you.
I haven't heard
Brink,
of that game.
Brink is
in a
still
while.
an active game within PlayStation Now. Sony brags about this because they have like 800 games in PlayStation Now, where Game Pass has like, with EA Play, maybe 200, right? And they're like, oh, we have this colossal catalog of games to play on PlayStation Now. And it's like, I can play Brink. That should tell you the caliber of games that are filling the trash pile of PS Now games.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those NES cartridges that are like 300 games in
301
games.
And all of it
It's
is
like
it's just like 10
rehash. Yeah.
It's just like, hey man, cheat 'em in, bros. Let's do this.
The same version of Mario Brothers. Like,
Yeah, like just like a sprite swapped Mario Brothers game.
Yeah.
It's like, but that's PS Now. It's like the majority of it is trashware, and it's like every now and then they have a good game, and it's like cool. Like if like I think for a little while they had Last of Us 2 on there, which everybody says is like amazing, but it's like, that's an example of like why you would benefit from it. The rest of it, you're just kind of endlessly ligging through this catalog of old games that nobody cares about. Whereas Game Pass, if their game isn't selling or being downloaded and stuff, they get rid of it and they replace it and say, hey, we're getting rid of these 10 games and we're bringing in these 10.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. With Game Pass, I just get the feeling that they actually give a crap because they're making a lot of money off it.
Yeah, and it's
Or PS Now, it's like it is making money. PS Now is making money, just not a lot. So they're probably like, it's fine.
And the same amount of AAA games also are on there that are just more or less on par with the amount of indie / mediocre games.
Well, so like Halo Infinite is going to be on Game Pass next week.
Right.
Like Forza Horizon 5 was on Game Pass. Gears of War is on Game Pass. It's like they have day one titles. You're not going to see God of War Ragnarok on PlayStation Now. It's not going to happen. Like
Nope.
you're not going to see Uncharted 5 or like whatever the next Uncharted game is.
They still haven't. They still haven't bought into that model that Xbox has.
Yeah.
Because either they don't have the agreement with their studios the way that Microsoft does, or there's just some sort of pushback on wanting to change the status quo, right?
Yeah, and and I know we've talked about this in the past. Sony's very old school.
Yeah.
Like they're
Nintendo.
Very old school. Like I know I always sound like just an Xbox fanboy, but it's like I love what they're doing right now. Like Phil Spencer, it's like he gets it. It's like he goes like, yeah, that's the old way of doing video games. Like let's build and move forward.
Well, here's the thing. Like if you take a look at Xbox Game Pass, it's not really a brand new concept, because if you look at like the movie industry or the music industry, they have services for all these.
Yeah.
Games, for some reason, still are lacking in a real Netflix for games situation, and Game Pass has been the closest one to that. And it's just like, okay, fine. For Ultimate, this is the amazing part about Game Pass, because I did not know this, and I don't know why they're not promoting this. Game Pass Ultimate, I can literally set up, which I do have. I have kids, several computers in the house, all of them dedicated to just one of them, right? Like they all have one. In Windows 11 and Windows 10, I can literally sign into their Play Store, and now they have access to my Game Pass library and subscription while still being able to play as their avatars in Xbox. So it's family sharing unlimited. I can play the same game that they're playing, kind of like, unlike Steam, where Steam kind of locks you out and says, sorry, your family member's currently playing this. No, you can play it. They don't care. They want more people on there. So I thought that was amazing. Now, the implementation and the advertising for that kind of stuff is a little lackluster. I don't know why, but it's so simple. It's just signing them out of the Windows App Store, and then just signing yourself in, and that's it. And they have access to your stuff now. And so now it's just like they have access to AAA games like Halo Infinite that I can say on day one, you can go play that single player game and have your own achievements tied to you and have your own things, your own installation that doesn't affect me. That's how awesome that is. And that's how it should be. And the fact that it's taken video games this long to do so and it's profitable, I don't understand these other companies at all. Like, where are you? Because it's not working out. So you might as well just jump on a bandwagon instead of just trying to be the first. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I think Game Pass has been sold on me. Clay was like, they have the PC games on there too if you want to play them. And I was like, nah, that's not real, man. That's not real. But you know what Game Pass has also done? Reduce piracy. I mean, if you're doing that, what's the problem? But
Game Pass is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So other than that, that's my rant on that. I think people should get Game Pass if they want to have. If they don't want to be paying $60 for Xbox specific games, right off the gate. Even some DLC just comes with a game for the games that have like a complete edition. It comes with everything. So why even bothering?
Dark Zero is just being an idiot in the chat here. Why am I not in this Game Pass with Clay? And it's like, weren't we talking about this when we were playing Back 4 Blood like 3 weeks ago? And Zero's like, oh, I don't have the game. I can't play with you guys. And it's like, it's on Game Pass. Oh, I don't have Game Pass. And it's like,
go get it. I think
what the problem is,
I
go
think
sign up.
I think they still have the $1 sign up special where you can quit at any time and just have access to 1 month and then you're all set.
Like,
I mean, we're not trying to tell you how to spend your money, but you know,
I am.
It's $1.
I'm trying to tell you how to spend your money.
Okay. All right, let's get on with I think it's time for it. Ready? The game news and stuff. All right.
47 minutes in. Time for game news.
Yeah. All right. If you don't know by now you're about to find out. But Battlefield has not been doing so good.
Oof.
And by not doing so good, the numbers are in right now, and quite a few people have jumped ship already. I believe it was marketed as the Warzone killer, that everybody was just going to continue playing this whole thing, and it was just going to be endless. But it looks like now EA has decided to take a different approach to it since the numbers are in and the player base has pretty much died completely. That they're swapping out a couple key players that either that are going to jump on the team or be leaving the team. And I believe, Clay, you have a lot more of the specifics in this article.
So this one was okay. Battlefield historically, and Joe, I know you and I used to play like 3 together and maybe even 4, I think, when that came out. Battlefield historically is buggy. Like they usually do betas, and when they do the betas, it usually is terrible. Like it is they usually have rocky launches. But once you get a few patches in, everything's fine. Battlefield 3 was a great online experience. Like when we used to play that, it was a lot of fun. 4 was good, Hardline was good. I didn't play 1 or 5, but I assume that they were about the exact same game as all.
They're pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. So 2048, when this came out, and it's rocky, it's buggy, it's broken. I was kind of like, it's Battlefield, like you don't say. But apparently, I don't know if it's just because we're in this like post-cyberpunk world right now, where it's like game bugs are like the worst thing in the world. I don't know if we're just there or not, but part of this article says that. So the general manager of DICE, which is the company that makes Battlefield, Oscar Gabrielson is his name. He's like the face of Battlefield. Like as far as like the dev team goes, he's the guy who's always doing the interviews. And apparently he is leaving EA to go focus on other opportunities, which means they shit-canned him.
Yep.
Right? Like, that's literally what happened. It was
that's what happened.
Your game sucks, and you told us it was good. So, you fired. Like, I thought that was, like, crazy. I was like, whoa, that's like, that would be like the next Mario game is bad, and they fire Miyamoto. It's like he's the guy, right? So I thought that was already a bold move. They're bringing in. So EA decided, hey, DICE is clearly not in a position to have good judgment right now, so they're bringing in Respawn, Titanfall, Respawn, Apex Legends. They have a really good track record.
It's also a panic move, in my opinion. But
it is a huge panic move. But if anybody can fix Battlefield and not just do the same rinse repeat like we've seen all the time, Respawn could be the ones to do that. So Respawn's already taking the helm on not necessarily fixing it. That's what DICE is for. Like DICE is still going to be doing the patching and the bug fixes and everything like that. Respawn is looking at Battlefield going forward as like, here's what we want to do with the next Battlefield. They want to bring it into like its own universe. They want to like bring a better story into it. 2048 has no campaign. They kind of want to retool Battlefield to make it a different game that's not just Battlefield.
Right.
And some of you might be like, oh well, you're going to ruin Battlefield. Like it won't be the same. And it's like maybe Battlefield needs to evolve a little bit.
How can you ruin something that's ruined?
How do you kill
something
that has no life? But yeah, it's like so They're also bringing in one of the original Halo designers to work on this whole new universe story thing that they're doing.
Right.
I think it's what I worry about with this isn't necessarily that they're going to change Battlefield too much or ruin it or anything like that. What I worry about is EA owns, Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
They own Medal of Honor, which they've endlessly tried to beat that dead horse. And they have Apex/Titanfall. And it's like, I think they're trying to do too much with shooters.
Yeah.
Like Apex seems to be working for them. Titanfall we know works for them.
Yeah.
We'll get to the Titanfall in a minute, but like I think it's like they need to just be like, we're just gonna put Medal of Honor under a rock and we'll talk about that in 50 years.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take Battlefield and we're gonna either make it its own new thing that's not just the same Battlefield game, or like they need to evolve it into something new, or they also need to kind of bury Battlefield and just use DICE for like a new Battlefront game, which is Battlefield, right? But it's like they need to do something other than release the same Battlefield over and over. Because like Battlefield 6 or like whatever the next game is going to be is literally going to be Battlefield, but instead of Levolution, instead of tornadoes, instead of Battlefield Portal, it's going to be like, and now we have flying saucers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be like, okay, just
didn't DICE also do the Battlefront where Disney was disappointed with their loot box situation?
Yeah, they made Battlefront 1 and 2, the newer Battlefront 1 and 2. The other, like, there were Battlefront games in the past, if you remember. That was like 20 years ago. The newer Battlefront 1 and 2, that was DICE were the developers on that, but I guarantee the loot box mechanics that were horrible, that was all EA.
Mm-hmm.
They probably told them to put that into the game.
Well, yeah, I mean they Activision it up, right? They made that mistake, but still, like, I would just think that DICE is really good at promoting their engine, their Frostbite engine, which is great. Great engine, right? But they're just not very good at translating gameplay to something of an. You know what? They're on par with Crytek. Mm-hmm. They have a really good engine. The gameplay on most of their games are kind of lackluster.
Well, so Frostbite, and this has been said by many developers. Like this isn't just me. It's like Frostbite is really good at big open shooters.
Yeah.
And like that's what it was built for. They were like, how do we make Battlefield better? Okay, here's this new engine and it's awesome for this specific type of thing. That's great. But because of that, it's like they know their tool is the best for a Battlefield type game. But if you were to go to DICE and say, we want you to make the next Jedi Fallen Order game, because Respawn's busy making $1 bajillion on Apex, they're going to go, our engine's not good for that.
Yeah.
Or Jedi Fallen Order is a bad example. Or like, let's go, like, we want you to make a
RTS game.
The next GTA or something like that. They might go, no, that's a horrible idea because the engine's not good for that. Well, then what good is the engine? It makes Battlefield. So it's like,
that's the only thing it's been
we're
battle
tired
tested
of
on.
that.
Yeah.
What else do you got? It's like I think they're kind of pigeonholing themselves with their engine.
Yeah, well, that's Battlefield. I mean, right now it's not looking too good, but at least we have something to look forward to with some of these switch outs that are going on in EA. So we'll have to wait and see what that brings. But for right now, I think a lot of people have already considered Battlefield 2042 dead on arrival. So we'll move on from that and we'll go to mobile gaming and the advancements that they're doing there to bring back side talking. Let's do this.
Oh my goodness, can't wait. By the way, Zero wants to know what happened to the good old days when games didn't come with major bugs. They always came with major bugs. They were just harder to find.
Right.
Nowadays, it's like you just expect bugs, which is a horrible way.
I think it was a more layered problem because if you take a look at some of the older games, like on cartridges, obviously they had the releases weren't as frequent, right? So you didn't have like Mario 1 and then Mario 2 like a year later. But at the same time, the complexity between 2D adventure games and whatnot, and current adventure games aren't the same technically.
So I would say a lot of this comes, and I know we're going to tangent here for a second, but I would say a lot of this comes into the fact that video games are more businessy now than they ever were in the past.
Right.
So for instance, id Software back in the day was very cool, you could say, about like, they'd say, hey, when is the next Doom coming out? And they would go, when it's ready. Well, when's that going to be? I don't know, it's not ready yet. And then, but they would never give you dates. They would never be like, oh, it'll be holiday, whatever. It's like, they didn't care. They were just like, the game's not ready.
Yeah.
And they would work and work and work until it was ready to go. And then they would say, all right, we think we're 6 months out. And then they would announce a launch date right there. Yeah. Now, these games are planned years ahead of time. So like Battlefield 2048 or 2042, whichever one it is, was probably originally put into pre-production 5 years ago. And they said, you have 5 years to make this game. And they go, done. And then we're getting closer and closer to the release. And they go, is it ready? Cyberpunk, right? And they go, it should be ready on time. And if not, we'll day one patch it.
Yeah.
And then the day one patch did not help. And the day two patch did not help. But because they've already committed, these EA is a business, right? Like they have shareholders. They have, it's like they have to know that the game will release holiday 2021, no exceptions.
Right.
It's all about the investors.
Yeah. And what if the game is broken and it sucks and Cyberpunk and all that? And they go, we're going to release it. That's why games like that, because these game companies, yes, there are companies that do delays, which I think is always good.
Right.
But this is one of those moments where it's like, why is this game released with so many major bugs? Why was GTA Definitive Edition? Why Cyberpunk? Because some bigwig at the company said, release the game.
Right.
Shareholders are upset. Put it on the market.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's their money, being affected.
Yeah.
So because they are the shareholders, they are a priority, not necessarily their product.
They're gonna, they are like in shareholder brain or board of directors brain. They're going, if we release the game now and it's terrible, we will still make money.
Mm-hmm.
And if we delay it a year, so it's amazing, we won't make that money.
We won't make the same money, and we won't know what money we'll make, so we'll just take the money now. And then they can just reinvest somewhere else where they're just going to ruin that. So let's move on to mobile gaming, because you did have quite a few questions last time about why this, right? Why mobile gaming is taking off the way that it is. Why? We know why.
Oh, mobile gaming is the future. Okay. I do not deny that one bit. It's just, this article we're going to talk about here, Qualcomm and Razer are partnering together to release a handheld mobile gaming console thing with the super catchy name Snapdragon G3X.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Snapdragon G3X Gen 1, which is like, that's a horrible name. I know Qualcomm has been hanging onto the Snapdragon name for 20 years now. Razer is a part of this, so you could guarantee it's going to be underpowered and overpriced. So it's
we'll break within 2 months,
guaranteed.
Yeah.
But no, things like this are. We were chatting about it before the show went live, and I said I was going to bring it up. They even have a video on this site, and if you look at it, it kind of shows you like their concept. This is an Android-based device, and I'm not going to say it's a phone because there's no phone. It is an Android phone that comes with an encasement around it and a camera, so you can talk to people or stream or whatever you want to do, and it has controllers and buttons and stuff like that. They're really banking on this 5G thing, and they're saying like this is going to be how you do your mobile gaming or even your game streaming, like your Game Pass streaming or your PlayStation Now streaming or like your Shield or your Xbox in your house, like Xbox Remote Play or something like that. I think this is like a very strange idea for them to release this, and if you say, well, why, Clay? I go, because Razer, like I said, this is going to be way overpriced, but like This thing is essentially a phone, an Android phone, with its own controllers. And it's like, why can't I just go buy one of those backbones for $100? Or even like the Razer Kishi. Or like,
because they make it sound like the software is really the key here. Because if you look at it, they show you a PC in the background, kind of simulating like, hey, you can do remote play, right? Which Steam, Xbox, a whole bunch of other different services do now. And then they show you like a TV, which the Switch has a market on. Like, granted, like I totally get it.
This does output to monitors. You're right. Okay. So can this.
Yeah.
It's
like and then not only that, but the Steam Deck just recently announced that they got a lot of hype on that. And it always feels like Razer is shortly behind on announcing these things ahead and getting some of that really sweet limelight, right? So it's just like they did this about a decade and a half ago with something with Intel that they had a handheld that never released. Even though they had a working prototype at CES, I believe it was on Intel's booth and Razer's booth, and we were just like, it's cool, but it's very niche-y. Like, I'm not seeing what ties it together. And now that we've gone advanced in technology, you start to see that the real key piece here is not necessarily the hardware, but the software. And most phones are powerful enough to do this kind of stuff, especially if you're not rendering graphics. Now, if you are rendering graphics locally on your machine, then that is something to boast about, right? Which the Steam Deck kind of does. A couple of other, but if you're not rendering and you're just using a remote client to be able to connect to your devices that have like a GTX R or an RTX 3090 or something like that, then that's just a client. That's not, I can do that on my phone with a plastic clip and an Xbox controller on a Bluetooth. So why would I buy this?
I have a $5 clip that goes around my DualShock 4, and that's how I do remote play. Even Xbox remote play, because the DualShock 4 was Bluetooth, and I still have it. So it's like it was a $5 clip that does what this thing is claiming it can do.
Now the difference, the difference here is that they're boasting a new chipset from Snapdragon, from Qualcomm, that will have some very advanced graphics where you won't need that. But then at the same time, if you need to remote into something, they have the 5G antenna as well. So it's like, okay, you're giving us the ability to do both, but correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't 5G require a data plan of some sort? So why would I need to pay another line for something that is just going to be dedicated as a gaming station? I don't understand.
Yeah, like I said, it is. Am I going to buy this thing? No. Hunter, this thing is a waste of time to me because I have a phone and I have a controller.
Right.
For anybody out there who is a mobile gamer, they play Call of Duty Mobile, they play League of Legends, they play like whatever. They have phones. If you carry around
a backpack, you guys have phones?
And it don't you guys have phones?
Don't you guys have phones?
Yeah. Like, for the mobile gamers out there who are into it, like, good for you, but it's like you already have a solution for this.
Right.
Like, I don't see the need for you to go, or for like, I think Dark plays COD Mobile, right? So it's like he has a phone and he probably has a controller that he uses because touchscreen is awful for gaming, right? But like, I don't see for somebody to go, man, I really love playing COD Mobile. Let me go buy this thing instead of use the thing I already have that already costs $800. But it's like I said, like, this thing to me was like, what are they thinking? And then I saw that Razer was attached to this, and I go, oh, okay, this thing's going to be like $1,200. Like, this thing's going to be like $1,000, and
it's going to have lime green accents on it because it's Razer,
and it's going to be replaced in a year. by whatever the next gen smartphone is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, notice that when they do promote this thing, they do state it as the dev kit, the developer kit.
Yeah. So this thing was announced. It was announced. There's no date. There's no price. This thing could be 2 years away with already the next gen Snapdragon, whatever. It's just, yeah, like this is the dev kit, and it's like cool, but like to me, this is still a giant question mark. It's like, why are you even bothering?
I would think that by now, Qualcomm and any other developer that's trying to make mobile gaming a thing, which some companies are successful with it. You know, like some of the gaming phones have been super successful over in Asia because that's their demographic, bro. Like mobile gaming in Asia is blowing up.
It is. And I'm about to set you up for the joke, right? Okay. But this thing is not a phone unless
unless we go back to the classic, the
old side talking. This is not a phone.
Engage.
Unless we're going engage mode again, and then we start the side talking conversation. Yep. Hey guys. Hey bro. How we doing? Hey man. Oh, hold on. I gotta call on my other line. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah. But at the same time, you're just like, wait a second. Why is this a thing? Because the microphone and the speaker were right there. Brilliant design.
They were on the sides.
Yep. And so if you want to go back to those days, then by all means. It just seems like such a unnecessary risk for a company when you were just doing fine with peripherals, Razer. And Snapdragon, you already have a corner on the market for any mobile phone. They use your chips. So what do you want? Let the other people handle it.
Yeah, like I don't, unless Razer is going to use this as a prototype for the Razer phone, which, you know, like whatever, sure. Then they could say, oh yeah, we've already tested it out, whatever, but nobody's gonna buy this thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So by all means, I mean, it's a cool concept, but anyone can make this, and it's literally like about $10,000 cheaper.
Yeah.
Plastic, 3D printed.
If the reason why they are just wanting to release the dev kit is because they want some developers onto it before they release it.
Sure, but then to announce it like to announce it as like something that is just like, okay, let's try to see who we can get some hype up. The only way that this would get some hype on is if you actually had some killer demos already about any related game, like Halo or something like that. If you had something like that, that'd be great, but you don't.
Let's say they secure Halo Mobile, which is the mobile multiplayer component of Halo multiplayer on, you know, the free one that's out. And they say this is exclusive to the Snapdragon G3X Gen 1.
Oh no.
You're still not going to sell them.
No.
Because people could Game Pass on their phones. It's like, that's it. It's like,
they already laid down the foundations for it on your phone.
Steam Deck has its audience in its hand, and that is PC gamers on the go. PC games, not cloud stream games, not which it does cloud streaming too, but like, not like, I mean, these are for the PC gaming people out there. It's, hey, we have a solution for you that is not carrying around a laptop.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool, they nailed it. Like, this is like, you know, this is all the PC gamers are eating out of their hands, and it's it works. But like this, there is no audience for this.
No.
It's like, I don't, like, this thing is dumb.
There is an audience, but it's a very small audience of tinkerers that are tired of jailbreaking their Nintendo Switch. That's pretty much their market. Because on Nintendo Switch, there was a post recently on Reddit where somebody was saying, "Oh, this is a custom firmware, and I have Xbox game streaming playing Halo Infinite on multiplayer." It's almost like that, like snap on snap on snap, just to get something going. And now those people are tired of having to deal with updates and things that break that implementation. Where I can see something like this being a good replacement. But even then, that's already still possible on your phone. So twice removed there, and it's just like, okay, I'm not, unless I'm balling with unlimited funds right now, there's really very little to do with an audience here. I just don't see it. But more power to them. At least they're taking mobile gaming a little bit more seriously than some of the other people. But at the same time, your implementation is just going to be the key figure here, and whatever is available exclusively to you, or the capability that is just easier on this, that's going to be the deciding factor on whether or not people play this. The other thing, I don't know if, Razer's not necessarily known for their great software, especially when it provides admin access to a Windows 11 PC or a Windows 10 PC right off the bat. So I don't know how that's going to do with the trust factor, but Razer's going to have to pull out of somewhere just to make that implementation seamless. Because the last thing I want to do is get error after error and troubleshoot your software. That's the last thing I like doing. But whatever.
Hard pass.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one. So we're about to get into adult land, so stick with us, okay?
Oof.
All right.
The politics.
Yep. Here comes some politics. A new US.
By the way, I love how you said adult land, because it you could have taken that in like a whole other direction.
I could have.
You're like, and shirts off. Okay. Ooh, yeah.
So meany. Anyways, so a new US bill could be banning the use of console scalper bots. This also applies to graphics cards. So a bill's trying to go onto the floor for vote on stopping these bots from taking up these much needed resources. And it's kind of interesting because there are a lot of other sectors that are being affected by this, but for some reason entertainment is just taking a front seat here. What's going on here?
So this is, I'm not kidding when I say things like this. The Stop Grinch Bots Act.
That's
Grinch,
the name?
because it is literally it is the name of the bill, because the argument that these Congress people are saying is like, you are ruining people's Christmases with this. And it's like, this is like a real thing. But okay. It's going to stop, if it gets passed, it stops people from using bots to, clean out all the PS5s and Xboxes and graphics cards and all that stuff out of stores and then reselling them on the market.
Does it though?
For
Will it?
For anybody out there who goes like, lol, this is a joke, it would never happen. These same Congress people have already passed an act years ago to stop people using bots to buy concert tickets. And it passed, and it's a real thing. That was called the Better Online Ticket Sales Act, or Bots Act. That is already a law.
That's kind of clever.
If you use a bot to buy concert tickets and you get caught, it is I actually looked it up yesterday because I was like, I wonder what the actual penalty. $16,000 fine. So don't use bots to buy concert tickets. So, but this, like I said, their previous one of these already happened. This very well could happen.
You said how much?
16,000
pesos.
If that's like $1, then yes. I don't know the conversion rates because I didn't, going on what we talked about earlier, I didn't take trigonometry in high school, so I don't,
$16,000 fine.
16 grand if you use a bot to buy concert tickets and you get caught. So if they follow the same rules here, then yeah, all those, a-hole scalpers out there could be in a lot of trouble if this thing passes. If right now it is just proposed, it's on the floor, they still have to vote on it, but this very well could be a thing, and I think it would be great.
I think it would be great if again, implementation, right? But
yeah,
their detection factor has to be on point. You can't have any mistakes, nothing. But
yeah.
Mel, that does mean that you're out of here. We can't use you on the show anymore.
No bots,
we apologize.
Mel.
No bots.
I'm a different kind of bot. I'm not a scalper bot.
Nope.
I'm not a Grinch bot.
No.
Oh.
Get out of here.
Okay, I leave.
Be gone.
Bye, Mel. It's been fun. But yeah, I thought this was super interesting because I was like, okay. I mean, I hope it does actually happen because, this isn't going to stop a-holes from reselling stuff on the internet by far. This is going to do it. Joe and I know a guy in real life who does this, and he bought when the PS4 launched. He had 5 and he sold 4 of them, and it was because he does that. He's an internet dirtbag, and I was like, that's how they work. You're not going to stop them from doing this, but he doesn't bot anything. He just trolls websites and hits F5 1,000 times. Yeah, it's so this isn't going to stop reselling from happening. This is just going to stop those. Remember, it was last year. His last Christmas, and it was when the Switch came out and all that stuff, and people use bots to buy up all the inventory. They resell them for jacked up prices, and then they were saying oh, we're not the bad guys. Don't worry about us, and it was get. Yeah. But yeah, so this isn't going to stop reselling or eBay scalpers or anything like that. This just stops the people from instantly buying up all the stock using a program.
Yeah. The one thing I don't like about this whole concept of politicians reacting to something like that, because I'm pretty sure the new school politicians are able to see this stuff faster because it affects them. We have gamer politicians that fight against Xbox people cheating on Xbox. We got politicians that are now taking up things that relate to us at this point. But at the same time, it's just there's always that lag, man. There's always that, hey, we're gonna take care of those bots for you guys before Christmas. You mean it's gonna pass and it's gonna be implemented and you're gonna be doing it on the 24th? No, I mean, we're gonna pass it, but it's not gonna affect anything that's currently happening right now. So your Christmas is still ruined, but it's laggy. So, I mean, great that they're doing stuff, but government has always had that lag, and it's just hurry
paperwork,
up.
Bro.
Yeah,
both of us work for corporations, man. Okay, paperwork takes time. Okay, you can't just get a piece of paper and sign it, Joe. Okay, you can't just have a pen in your hand and that says sign here and then you sign it. That's not how the world works.
But okay? Here's the situation where I have seen the exact opposite in my industry. The moment that it starts fucking with your money, all of a sudden those red tape fucking paperwork, TPS reports, and Excel spreadsheets go out the window.
Yeah.
And there's an emergency approval process, and now go ahead and implement that fix. Yeah. I mean, it's my rant because I've dealt with it so many times that I literally say, this is an emergency. If you don't do this, your money-making situation goes out the window. Okay, whatever. When it happens, it happens. We can't react to it right now because it just hasn't happened. You mean you don't justify it because you don't want to tell your boss that this is about to happen? Yeah. So now you go ahead and put it on me that I'm just ringing an alarm on something that doesn't exist. This isn't anything specific that has happened to me personally.
No, you just came up with it on the fly.
Yeah. Just come up with that stuff. These aren't real scenarios. A, Wandering Raven? You know what I mean? Those situations? Anyways. All right.
Next article.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the next one. I hope this passes. I hope it goes well. I hope it gets implemented the right way and no negatives come out of it. But knowing politicians, we're screwed. Anyways.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next one. Take-Two Interactive takes on It Takes Two.
This is real. This is real. This actually happened. Now, every now and then, like things like this come up where like somebody says that name infringes on our copyrights. Like I remember when there was the game released, this is like 8 years ago or something, called Scrolls, which deals with paper scrolls.
Yeah.
And then Bethesda sued that company and said, you are infringing on our patent for the word scrolls because we use the Elder Scrolls.
The Elder Scrolls.
And it's like, so every now and then dumb things like this happen. So Take-Two Interactive, giant mega conglomerate, has notified Hazelight Studios that their game, It Takes Two, a game you have to play in co-op, because it is a built from the ground up co-op game. It Takes Two infringes on their copyright. And unfortunately, they're right. And legally, they're right. And Hazelight Studios has already said, we are abandoning the trademark. Does that mean the game's going to get shut down and go away forever? No, they're just going to rename the game. But it's but now it's because of dumb, stupid crap like this. And by the way, It Takes Two is in my top games of the year.
You know what? You know what's a good name for this?
It is a fantastic game.
You know what's a good name for this? Company of Two. That's a good one.
Let's see. They should name the game
Two's Company.
Activision.
Oh my god.
No, it's like this is the dumbest thing. I was like, are you?
This is a pretty D-bag move from Take-Two.
Yeah. This is a huge and Take-Two Interactive already they are the parent company of a lot of studios out there, including Rockstar. They get a lot of hate. Or It Takes One More.
Takes two to tango.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is terrible, and this is how simple this is. This is just more bullcrap litigation for something that they can't quantify on sales, so they might as well just preemptively do this and say, "Oh, it might affect our sales. We don't even know." How would you even calculate that? How would you even justify that with numbers and be like, well, because it released on this day, our other games took a hit because of the confusion of our name, not even on top of a box art for anything, but then also it's just a title of a game that has more extra words but our words in it.
Yeah.
I just want a judge to look at the whole thing. And be like,
the judge will be. Come on.
For reals, bro. Like, really? Yeah. You don't own the words Take Two.
Yeah.
You don't
Take Two
own
and
those words.
Takes Two. It's like, this is. Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up to show just how douchebaggy some of these companies are.
Yeah, I can see because I can see the only association I can see is because both of them have to do with the video game industry.
Yeah,
that's about it. But I'm not confused as to which is which.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's dumb, but whatever.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one because I feel like we can talk about that one till our ears bleed. But yep, Titanfall. You know, that lovely game that we all loved. Well, at least most of us did.
Titanfall 1 was a great game.
Yeah. We went to E3, got our first chance to play it. It was really good. We were kind of amazed about how it kind of scaled and you can easily go in and out of a huge machine, and it had its own AI where it actually fought for you while you were trying to fight somebody else. Great implementation of gameplay there. But it looks like they are now looking at oh, it went away. There we go. Now we're looking at the possibility that they're just going to shut down the game, and that's it.
Yeah.
They're going to shut down
Titanfall,
any sales of that game, any further sales of that game.
So this, I will say this does make sense as a business sense. Every now and then, game servers for older stuff get shut down. It happens.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 released. It's more popular than Titanfall 1. I get it. Like, this wasn't a huge shock to me. The thing that really kind of sucks about this is Titanfall 1 has been super broken on PC for the past like 4 years, and Respawn has basically ignored it because Titanfall 2 was doing so well and Apex does so well. They just like they were like, so stop playing Titanfall 1. You know, like it doesn't matter.
That's not really a solution there, Respawn.
Well, that's the thing. The fact that they left it in this broken state and just didn't care, and now they're shutting it down. Like, this is one of those kind of moves where Titanfall is owned by EA. EA also owns what was the stupid Destiny clone that they had?
Shoot.
Starts with an A or something.
Anthem.
Anthem. So Anthem is like in the same boat. It's like the game is not that good, and they're not gonna get the money to fix it. And at some point, they're just gonna kill it. So it's like that's kind of what they're doing with Titanfall. It's just Titanfall was good once upon a time, and then the hackers took over and ruined the game, and Respawn was like, just play Titanfall 2. It's like, I think that's kind of shitty. You know,
Yeah.
like, that's like, I wish they had actually put effort into this game, as opposed to just kind of saying, it's dead, don't worry about it.
Yeah, because it's like it's the foundation for everything else that was built. Apex Legend was also based off of this game. I mean, the lore itself.
And so they're kind of setting themselves up for, like, let's say now that, okay, like, so Titanfall 1 is being removed from stores. It'll then be removed from subscription services. So you can currently play it on EA Play, which is on Game Pass. You currently have access to it on that. If they take it away, so, and then at that point, they're just going to shut down the servers. Let's say all of those hackers who have just been endlessly breaking Titanfall 1 decide to jump to 2. Is that now the death knell for Titanfall 2? Like, at that point, is Respawn going to go, well, Apex makes all the money for us, so let's just shut that down too?
Yeah.
You know,
You're
like,
basically giving up on an IP that got you where you are now.
Yeah, and it's like I said, I just wish they had actually cared about that game a little more before killing it.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2, we'll see how it goes. Like, Titanfall 2 is a fantastic game. I recommend it to anybody.
But you know what? Now in the day,
it stays alive.
In the day and age that we're in, I wouldn't doubt seeing a remake or remastered version come out, and that's why they're killing the sales, to avoid the negative press of be like, I just bought Titanfall 1.
Yeah.
And now you have a remaster? Like, now I have to buy that twice just to get the fixes for the server? It's like, I could see where that would be a strategic move without really giving away what they're working on.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me. But still, there has been no announcement of any remaster or anything like that for any of the Titanfalls so far. So I don't know what they're planning on doing.
Yeah, if anything, hopefully they're working on Titanfall 3, and it's just going to include all the stuff that 1 and 2 had.
Yeah. I think it was hopefully a great game. Mel, did you get to play Titanfall 1?
No, sadly not.
Oh, man. It's a great game.
It's good.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the next one. Now, granted, it was a great game, not because there was a great single-player experience, because that was also multiplayer. It was one of those.
Titanfall 2 was the single-player game. 1 was just multiplayer.
Right. Yeah. 1 was just multiplayer.
One was multiplayer only. It was really fun at the time. And again, if anybody out there hasn't played the campaign for 2, awesome. Titanfall 2's campaign is amazing.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on with the next one. I believe we have Jeff Keighley representing the Jeff Keighley stuff by Jeff Keighley.
Yes.
I
All
was about to
right.
say,
Jeff Keighley.
the Jeff Keighley Awards.
Yeah.
The Golden Keeleys.
Yep. Here we go.
Um,
And if you didn't know, this was brought to you by Jeff Keighley.
Brought to you by Jeff Keighley.
Mhm.
This is just kind of like a PSA. We've already talked about the Game Awards. We talked about it 2 weeks ago, last week. You can do your voting on it now. They are next week. It's on Thursday night.
Not that your vote
The-
matters or anything, but yeah, go ahead.
The gamers who vote on this, it's a very small percentage. Everything else is like industry people, publishers, developers that
Hey,
Jeff
do you think
Keighley's like best friends with.
Do you think it's just Jeff Keighley 5 times?
It could be. And then the final vote goes to Kojima,
Yeah.
and then that's it.
Yeah.
No, this is if you've ever watched the Game Awards in the past, for the personal opinion here, and I have nothing against Jeff Keighley as a person or anything like that. He's paid his dues. I get it. Half the show is him talking, in which I zone out or go get a beer, and then they say world exclusive trailer, and then I turn the volume up,
Mm-hmm.
and I go, oh, okay, and then it goes back to Jeff Keighley, and I go,
Oh man. Okay.
Time to go to the bathroom.
yeah,
Yeah.
because anytime he's on camera, it's literally him just either bragging about who he's friends with or like taking credit for something.
Mhm.
Like, I'm so glad we just got to see the new Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. I was instrumental in that game. I know Miyamoto personally. We're best friends and we have a secret handshake. And I helped create Mario back in the 80s. And everybody goes, great, Jeff, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, Jeff Keighley.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, those world exclusives, huh? You should start
It's
off
gonna be a
with
good
those.
time. It's gonna be a good time for trailers.
Yeah.
Like I watch it every year, and it's just to watch all the new trailers. Granted, they are all gonna be online that night. Every now and then, it has happened. Every now and then, it'll be like, "Hey, this new game is coming out, and beta signups are live now." And that's when I have a second tab open, and I go, "Boop, okay."
If you say his name's filed 5 times while looking at a turned off TV, it will turn on and every channel will be him talking.
Exactly.
Like Max Headroom. Like it's just like
Yes, just Jeff Keighley all over the place. As I just said, I'm definitely going to be watching only because I just want to see all the new trailers and everything like that. How about you two? Any opinion? Do we care?
I'm just in it for the trailers, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? Videogametrailers.com. If that's where they're going to be at, I'm just going to go.
Is GameTrailers.com still alive?
Their channel's still alive.
Mhm.
Their YouTube channel's still alive.
Their YouTube channel, but what about the website? Like,
I don't know.
Is that
I haven't visited in a while.
I haven't been on GameTrailers.com in like 10 years, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I usually
Okay.
catch most of the trailers there right after they
Wait,
announce them over.
What's the website?
GameTrailers.
GameTrailers.com.
Yeah.
This page isn't working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was
So
like,
now-
GameTrailers.com was really big, like 10 to 15 years ago. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had their own their own user-based video creation area,
Mm.
and it was pretty cool. But
This was, I won't say pre-YouTube days, but pre-YouTube the way it is nowadays.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on going with the rest of it. I think we have one more article left. Xbox doing a bunch of demos for the next few weeks. They're stating it's not your regular game demo. These
I saw that.
demos,
Yeah.
these demos are more or less games that have not been announced yet or are not slated to be released for a while. So I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work, if they're time demos or whatever, but a lot of these games, they're absolutely right. I have not heard a single thing about these anywhere.
I've recognized a few of these, but not to the point where I was like actively paying attention. By the way, for anybody out there who's like a PC gamer or something like that, keep in mind, Xbox is a brand now. It's not just console. So these are going to be available on PC as well. Just go to your little Windows 10 Xbox app or Windows 11, and you'll be able to see all these there as well.
Nice.
But yeah, Xbox is not just a box. Like it is a service now. So like these are going to be anytime Microsoft says Xbox, they actually mean PC and console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
I know. Yeah, only one of these games on here I was actually curious about. It's that bottom one. It's called Nobody Saves the World. And that's because it's being developed by not Hungry Box. I think they're something Thirsty Box. Hungry Box. I don't know. There's they're the company that makes the Guacamelee games.
Oh yeah.
And but this is not a Guacamelee type game. It's more of like a top-down dungeon crawler Diablo type thing. Only because I loved both Guacamelee games so much that I was like, okay, I'll try out anything they make just to see. Yeah,
they're almost like a behemoth of their type of game.
Behemoth,
right? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
That's really cool. There's some other ones over here. Like this one looks like an Elder Scrolls type game, but I don't even know.
That's gonna drive me nuts. Does it say what the dev is on that one?
I don't see anything box on here.
That's gonna drive me nuts.
Team Xbox plan and always calling. Nope.
Hold on.
Nobody saves the world.
Nobody saves the world.
Looks like
Drink Box. Drink Box. That's it. Not Hungry Box. Drink Box. Yeah, it's like a dungeon crawler. I don't know. I'm gonna try it out only because it's Drink Box Studios, and I just want Guacamelee 3, guys. Can you just do that? Because 1 and 2 were so good.
It reminded me of Cuphead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuphead art style. Yeah, I can see that.
Like Cuphead, but not impossibly hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned for that December 7th to the 21st. So merry holiday Christmas Eve for you. You get demos from Xbox.
Happy holidays.
Happy
holidays.
Kwanzaa Christmas. All right.
Festivus.
So that's it for the Game News Live this week. It's been great. We love giving you this every single week with Clay, Mel, and myself. We're going to be back here next Saturday. If there's enough news, we'll do another one of these. If not, we'll do a game stream. Clay, you got anything to drop off with?
Not really. I've just been still stuck in the GTA trilogy for the past week, so there's really nothing exciting happening. I'm in San Andreas now, which is like my least favorite of the 3, so it's like
it doesn't really speak to you. It's not your demographic.
I mean, I love the music is great. I love 1990s music. It's just the game is so damn big. There's just too much to do, and like. It's like when Red Dead 2 came out, and it's like, oh, you want to go do that mission? Go drive for 10 minutes.
It's a lot of walking, huh? There's not a lot of fast travel, or what?
There's no, like, older GTA games have no fast travel. So it's
there's
like
no like taxi that you can take on everywhere.
No, that didn't pick up until 4.
Yeah.
And so it's like in these, it's like which in 3 and Vice City, if you were to drive from like opposites of the map, it's not that big. Those games were not that big. San Andreas is a huge, colossal map, and it takes minutes and minutes and minutes to get from point A to B at times. Like,
yeah. Oh well. But yeah, thanks for joining us this week. We'll be back here next Saturday. Hit us up on our Discord, as you can see, nerdjunkies.com/Discord, or any of our social media. We're always on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, let's head out of here. I got some places to be. Clay?
Yeah. You know, I have a pretty full day today. One last chestnut here, and that is Dark. What are you doing with your life? Just buy Game Pass.
Yeah, it's $1.
Okay. Can you just?
You can't beat $1.
Yeah.
I'll buy that for $1.
Ha ha ha.
Mel, you got any words to leave off with? Except for I'm about to go back to bed.
No, I'm actually gonna go buy a Christmas tree, but for anyone, if I'm able to even get into Final Fantasy, see in Eorzea, or if I cannot, I'll be in Halo. Anyone?
Fantastic. Hit me up.
To join me.
Dark, if you get Game Pass, preload Halo, and we'll do some multiplayer later on. 'Cause I think
Yes.
my daughter also preloaded it on her Xbox PC, so she's all ready to go. Let's go on, and we'll see you next week. Peace out,
Yeah.
people. Later.
Adios.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Stay the same.
Sayonara.